Hey everybody, this is your man Will H the Cinephile and welcome back to my channel. And I just I had the absolute pleasure of experiencing Wicked a few nights ago and I can confidently say it was one of the most exhilarating cinema going experiences I've had this year. From the moment the film began, I was struck by the vibrancy and meticulous attention to detail in its visual design. The color grading was exceptional, rich and immersive, setting the perfect tone for this magical tale. John M. Chu's direction was impeccable, demonstrating a profound reverence for the Wizard of Oz while reimagining its world with a fresh and visionary approach. The performances were stellar, like across the board. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo delivered show-stopping portrayals, breathing life and depth into their characters. Cynthia Erivo's Elphaba was a revelation. Her portrayal of the Wicked Witch transcended the archetypical villain we know from The Wizard of Oz, instead presenting a deeply tragic, misunderstood character whose struggles resonate profoundly. Like her father's neglect and the weight of societal judgment made her story heartbreakingly human. Like this film gave me a completely new perspective on the Wicked Witch, revealing her vulnerability and humanity. On the other hand, Ariana Grande's Galinda, frivolous, friv- frivolous, manipulative, and undeniably fascinating, she perfectly captured the complexities of her character. At times, she came across as a fascist bitch, but her performance was so compelling that it was impossible to look away. But admittedly, the first 30 minutes of the film were a bit of a struggle for me. Like the introduction felt uneven, and some of the humor bordered on cringeworthy. However, once Elphaba and Galinda became roommates, the film found its stride. Like their evolving dynamic, marked by tension, rivalry, and eventual friendship, was a turning point that fully immersed me in the story. And from that moment on, I was captivated. The musical number during that sequence was like a standout to me, marking the moment I truly became invested in the characters and the world they inhabit. And speaking of musical numbers, they were undoubtedly the soul of the film. While some were hit or miss for me, others were fucking phenomenal. Like the library sequence in particular was an immersive spectacle that combined dazzling visuals with emotional depth. Like it had a kinetic energy that pulled me in completely. And of course, Popular, performed by Ariana Grande, has been stuck in my head ever since. Like I've been singing it to my dogs for a few nights and I keep doing all this absurd shit just to annoy them. Like my baby boy Bruno probably hates me for it by now. And as for Maxi, he almost bit my face off, but honestly, it was worth it just to keep annoying my precious darlings with my semi-wicked obsession. Like, even the supporting cast added even more layers to this rich tapestry. Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum brought gravitas and charisma to their roles, rounding out an ensemble that was consistently engaging. Like, each actor seemed to fully understand their place in this fantastical world, making the characters feel authentic and alive. And one of the most impressive aspects of this film is how it expanded on the mythology of The Wizard of Oz. Like, as someone who grew up or adoring the original, I was initially hesitant about this film. However, Wicked didn't just honor the legacy of its predecessors, it enriched it. Like, it took familiar elements and recontextualized them, offering a fresh perspective that felt both respectful and innovative. Like this was especially true of its portrayal of Elphaba. Like the film emphasized her humanity, showing how she was ostracized not for her actions but for her appearance. Like her struggles to fit into a society that viewed her as an outsider were profoundly moving, making her one of the most sympathetic and relatable characters I've seen in a while. And the film's conclusion was so freaking mind blowing. Like, it was gripping emotional, and left me eager to see how the story will continue in part 2. And I do plan to read Gregory Maguire's novel soon, both to deepen my appreciation for this story and to prepare myself for what's to come. In fact, I've decided to make the book a Christmas gift to myself, which speaks to how deeply this film has resonated with me. And I do understand why some critics and fellow cinephiles have taken issue with aspects like the color grading, but I personally found it to be beautiful and cohesive with the film's aesthetic. Like the visuals were stunning, the scope was grand, and the attention to detail was meticulous. Yes, there were moments that felt a bit slow or cringe inducing, but these were far outweighed by the film's many strengths. Like every visual and narrative choice seemed to be made with care, ensuring that Wicked was a cinematic experience meant to be savored on the big screen. Although this film isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's a love letter to fans of the Broadway musical and the original Wizard of Oz, while offering something new for viewers like me who are less familiar with the source material. Like my experience of Wicked has inspired me to delve deeper into its world, whether by reading the novel or if I ever have the chance attending a live Broadway performance. Like hearing my best friend Chase's mom rave about the stage production has only heightened my excitement and intrigue. But to sum it all up, Wicked is a visually stunning, emotionally resonant, and thoroughly entertaining film that deserves to be experienced on the biggest screen possible. Like, it's not just a movie, it's an adventure, a reimagining, and a celebration of storytelling. While it may not be flawless, it left me with a sense of wonder and excitement that few films this year have managed to achieve. Like it's a film that has stayed with me and one that I'll know I revisit both in the cinema and its literary form. For anyone who loves musicals, fantasy, or simply great cinema, Wicked is not to be missed. So, I hope you all enjoyed my review for this for today. So make sure to like, subscribe, and make sure to follow my letterbox for more content. So, until we meet again, my fellow cinephiles.